So in the last class, we have done till the automatic promotion. So one topic was remaining in the last class about the varchar. What is varchar? So today we will learn about it and then we will go ahead. Okay. Anyone know about the varchar, or I have given this document? Anyone read about this varchar? What is varchar? How it is used? Basically, the varchar allows the method to accept multiple arguments. Okay, if you have written varchar like this, if you have written, suppose in your method there is one class, and in your one class you have written one show method. This is method overloading, right? Same name but different argument. So if you write your integer with 3 dots and then a, okay, then you can call any number of arguments. This is called as varchar. Suppose you don't know how many arguments you need to call, okay, so that time you use varchar. Okay. I will show you in practical. Okay, varchar. Here only I will show you. Suppose there is one method show with integer a, and there is one more method with integer dot 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 anything, a or b, anything. Okay, and then we want to call this method p dot show. Okay, so there are 2 different shows. One is varchar method and one is normal. Okay, so when we call this method, we can pass 10, 20, 30 like this. There is no error coming. Okay, so if you don't know how many arguments we have to pass in a method, then the varchar approach is better, or you can use the varchar approach. Okay, so even it allows the 0 also. I mean, if you are not passing any argument, then also it's fine, because varchar take care of no argument also. Okay, so if I run execute it, this this method will be called 2 times. Okay, see, varchar, because we have called the sorry, this method, so it will be called without any argument also, and with many arguments. Even we 4 argument we pass, then also it is working. Okay, so that is for the multiple argument you can use it as varchar. Okay, so this is just an interview question. Many times it can be asked that how you can call many arguments without I mean with varchar, or any way they can ask you. Okay, so this is very important and can be asked question. Okay, so I just wanted to clarify. Now we are done with the method overloading. All the concepts are clear. I guess it satisfied 3 conditions, correct? So
Shavi, I have a question.
Yes.
We use varchar or varargs?
Sorry,
I said but we use varchar or varargs, ARGS. Both are same.
where argument you are saying?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
See,
I think they are not the same actually, because varchar, yeah.
Where arguments, where arguments actually. This is where. arguments. Okay, because it can allow multiple arguments. So this is var arguments.
Arguments.
Correct.
Okay.
It's a variable arguments, right?
Right. This is var arguments. So variable arguments. So for for multiple arguments we use var argument. Okay. Correct. So this is for multiple arguments. The concept of multiple arguments, or also you can say it var arguments. Sorry. Yeah. So this is the var arguments. Okay. Correct. Clear? This is how it works. So all the concept of method overloading is done. Okay. Yeah, this is about the var arguments.
Apart from this example,
Yeah.
any other example of where arts?
Var arts, no? I mean, see, it can be like instead of integer, it could be like string also. Okay, string. So what you will do, you can call multiple string. It's the same thing. Like if you want to pass multiple strings, suppose A, B, C, then comma, no, X, Y, Z.
Teacher, can we, for example, pass two var args in the method? For example, we can pass string like var args with string and var args with integer.
Integer, same thing. Like it's just a concept of passing many arguments.
Can we pass both in the same method?
Both in same method, yeah. You can do it that also, like integer dot and A.
Actually, this is I'm not sure about this. It's showing an error. Yeah, it says it must be the last parameter. I think
Yeah,
only
one.
Only one,
I think
only
you can
plus
pass.
one. And also they say it should be the last one. Even if you pass another integer, for example, the var args should be the last one.
Last one, okay. Integer A, comma. Okay, like that you can do it, but not like this. Yeah, it should be the last one. If I say integer C, then also it is giving error. Right? The argument type should be. Oh, great. That is a good understanding for you. So yeah, so it should be the last one. Good, yeah, that you have done your homework and came. So var argument should be always the last one, and then you can pass with the other argument, but not with the varchar. So varchar can be for the only for the one variable. Okay, one variable only you can use it, not other. Okay, great. Is that clear to everyone? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. So coming back to our PPT. So these are the three conditions for method overloading. Now method overriding. Okay, method overriding also have the same name, should have the same name. Okay, method should have the same name. Okay, then method should have different class, like there should be in different classes. So now there will be two classes. Okay, we have to deal with two classes, and in those classes you have a different you have different method with same name. Okay, and then passing the same argument. Okay, either you have number of arguments should be same, or sequence of arguments should be same, or the type of argument should be same. And you should have an is a relationship between these two methods. Okay, different class, these two classes. Okay, so as it is a different class, it should have an inheritance between them. Okay, for example, okay, the type of polymorphism, this we have done, right? Okay, yeah, this we have done, but we have done only the static polymorphism. This is now when we do method overriding, then it is like a dynamic polymorphism. So we will learn about the dynamic polymorphism now, which is method overriding. Okay, so this is the example of method overriding with same argument. Suppose we have a class test and then we have a class XYZ. The first thing is we have the same name of the methods with same argument. Okay, so void show and void show both are same. Then what the second thing is, different method, different class. Okay, so this is different class, same name, different class, and then same argument, and then you have an is a relationship. That means it's extending test. So these are the 4 things you have to remember when you do method overriding. Okay, first thing is same name of the method. So this is same name, different classes. So it is in different classes. Third is it is passing the same argument. Okay, so same argument we are doing. So same argument, there is no argument, so it is the same argument. And then the fourth point is it should have an is a relationship. Okay, either yeah, it's a parent-child relationship. Okay, inheritance. Okay, so it is this is called as method overriding when it is fulfilling all the 4 conditions together. Okay, now we have created 2 objects. Okay, one is of test class and another is of XYZ class. Okay, and then we are calling these methods. Okay, so if we create the object of test class, then it is calling this method, and if we create the object of this class, XYZ class, it is calling this method. We'll see how it is working. Okay. Overriding will create another package only. Inside the package, I will create one class of name XYZ. Okay, XYZ, and I will add the main method. Okay, so first I will create one parent class. Okay, so class test. Okay, this is a parent class. Okay, in that I will write one method void show. Okay. Inside that I will write, this is the first method. Okay, in the second class I will add one more method, same, with same name. Okay. Now I will do second thing is same argument is I'm passing. Second thing is also fulfilled. Third thing is, sorry, third thing is same. Fourth thing is extends. It should have an extends test. Okay. That you can extend this thing. Okay. So if all the four conditions are fulfilled, so this is called as method overriding. Now in the main method, what we will do, we will call the we'll create a object of test, new test. Okay. Now I'm calling t dot show. Okay. It will call that one, and then if I create x, y, z object, it will call that show. Okay. We'll just execute and see how it is running and what output it is giving. See, it is calling this method and this method. Now, this is about the method overloading, but you will think that why we are doing this, right? Just now we have learned that just before that we have learned that if we have the same method which is doing the same thing, then why we are calling and why we are doing this, correct? So method overloading overriding allows a child class subclass to provide a specific implementation of method, and that is already provided by one of the parent class. So the implementation of the child class overrides or replaces the implementation of the parent class by providing a method that has been named either of the same name, same parameter, or same return type as the method in the parent class. Okay. So, and this is also very important interview question, that why we do method overloading. If two methods are doing the same thing, then why we are overloading it, and why we wanted to again write that method and again write that method and again use that method in our new class, okay, or the child class. So this is the reason, like method overloading allows a child class or the subclass to provide a specific implementation of a method that is already provided by one of the parent class. Okay, but the implementation in the child class override or replace the implementation of the parent class. Okay, so it will, what it will do, it will override this implementation and then do your own implementation by providing a method that is of the same name, okay, or the same parameter or the same return type as the method in the parent class. Okay, so this is why this is why we use method overriding. Okay, so now I'm not audible.
No, you
Hello?
are audible.
Yeah, you got.
Okay, I gone for some time. Okay. Now
No,
I'm
you
audible.
can hear you. There's
Yeah,
no
we can hear you. Just maybe for
Fuja.
yeah, for
Okay.
Puja.
Okay. Okay, good. So, do you understand the concept of method overriding? We will do more about this, but just to tell you that why we do the overriding. So this is a very important interview question, and you should know. And this will be asked that why we do overloading and what is the concept of overloading. What all what all conditions. See, these are the 4 conditions which we have to do when we do the method overriding. So Method overriding is a very important interview question. Okay, so now what we will do, coming back to the PowerPoint. Okay, so this concept we are clear. Now method overriding with the same type. Same type means what? When we are passing the same argument. Okay, if we are passing, suppose we are passing string A in both the method, then what will happen? Okay. Okay, suppose I am passing here string A. Okay. So if you say that this is method overriding, no, this is not method overriding. If someone asks you that currently what I am doing, like this is the different method and this is the different method. But once you write here string A, then only it will become method overriding. Otherwise, no. Okay. String A. Here also we have written string A. Okay. Now what I am doing, I am passing some argument of string. Suppose AB, okay, here. Okay. So again, same output will be coming. So this is method overriding for with same type. Okay, so this is the same type. Now comes the sequence of argument should be same. Okay, you understood, right? This will be string integer. This will be string A integer B, and here also string A integer B. Okay, so this will also give you same same output. Now if now you have to learn about the covariant return type. This is a covariant return type. What is covariant return type? Anyone know about this? Anyone know about this? That what is covariant return type? The return type, anyone know? What is return type? Return type is what? When we are returning any when we are having the return type like integer return type or string return type. Okay, so this is a return type. Like if the child class have the if child class have the return type, then the parent class should also have the return type either same or having the more accessible return type. Okay, that like this is a object is the every other thing is the subclass of the object. Okay, so the return type of parent method should be more accessible than return type of child. Okay, so this is called as covariant return type. From Java 5.0 onwards, it is possible to have different return type. Okay, before that return type should be same. Okay, return type you should have the same return type, but now we can have a different return type, but the child class return type should be subtype of the parent's return type. Okay, subtype in the sense this is the subtype. Okay, like object is the parent and all other things are the child. Okay, this is how it is working, like string buffer, string builder, number, character, boolean, void, byte, short, integer, long, float, double. String also should come here. Here string is missing. So everything is the subclass and this is the parent class. Okay, so If you have a bigger return type, then you can have the change of return type. Otherwise, you should have a same return type. Okay, suppose I will tell you in this, suppose there is a return type of string. Okay, then it will give you error. Why? Because this overriding is, the return type is incompatible with test. Okay, so that you cannot do. If you change this into string, then it is possible. Okay, then you should have a return 0. Return null. Why? Because it's a string. Same thing. Return null. Clear? So this way you can do it. But suppose if I change here object, so it will not. This will say that return type is incompatible with test. Okay, but here I've put in string. Okay, but here if I change object, then it will work. Why? Because the object is the bigger accessibility, right? Object has the big accessibility. This is access modifiers, right? Like when you have a return type, sorry, you have a big return type, like it is the parent class, and all these things are subclasses. Okay, then you can have a different return type. Okay, this is a very important question, that do overriding method must have same return type. So this is the answer, that before 5.0 JDK, before 5.0 JDK or Java 5.0, the return type should be same. But after that, we have provided the covariant return type method, in which you can have different return type, but child return type should be subtype of the parent return type. Okay, subtype in the sense you should have a like parent should have a bigger thing, and then child should have a smaller thing, can be smaller thing or the same. Is that clear to everyone? Covariant return type. This is very important interview question, that sometimes it is asked, or sometimes it is asked in your written test also, that is this possible, is this output possible? Like here I have written like string and object, which I've just showed you. So this will not work as the subtype, as this is a subtype and not a parent of object. Okay.
So teacher, here we can only go like downward, not like
Yes.
okay.
Like not like upward. Okay, so we can only go downward. Okay, so it should have bigger. If you have a parent, you have a bigger subtype, and if you are a child, you have a smaller subtype, either same or smaller. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
You cannot have a bigger subtype. If you have a bigger subtype, then it will be error. Okay. So clear to everyone? Now we will do one more exercise. Like suppose we have changed it to string. Yeah, I have showed you, right? This is a string. I have changed it and I have showed you, right? So this is covered. Now about the access modifier, relationship between the access modifier and the access modifier and the overriding. Okay, we'll just check that. Currently we have done about the return type. Now we will do for the access modifier. Okay, so what is access modifier? Can anyone tell what are the access modifier? Four main access modifier.
Public, protected, private, and default.
Correct. So these are the 4 access modifiers. Correct. So okay. So if suppose there is both are public, there is no problem, right? We are good. Like both methods are public, then the overriding is possible. Okay. Now if I change it to public and then change it to void. Okay. Non-public. Non-public is my default. Okay. If you are not writing anything, then what will happen? See, suppose I am giving here public, okay, and here I am writing void. Return type I'll close. Is that visible
You need
to
to
everyone?
put return type for method for the public, the first one.
Okay, yeah, void should be there. Okay, and void. Yeah, so this is showing error. Why? This is not possible. Why? Because see the comment cannot reduce the visibility of the inherit method. Okay, that means the visibility of the child class should have more than the parent class. Okay, suppose I have not written here. This is a default, and if I make this public, this is fine for it. If I make this public, then this is fine. But if I do the opposite, it is giving the error. Why? The accessibility can be less in the parent class, but the accessibility for the child class should be more. Okay, it is the other way. For the return type, it was other way. Like for return type, the accessibility of the parent should be more, but here for the access modifier, the accessibility or the visibility should be less in the parent class but higher in the child class. Are you getting my point? Suppose I have written here protected. Okay, I have written here protected. It will give you, okay, return protected should have a return type. Protected, okay, void, then void, protected, void, and then it is fine. This is fine. But if I return here protected and here public, then it is giving you error. Okay, cannot reduce the visibility. Okay, so first thing, how it works, like here it will work like first it is public, then comes the
Protect.
Protected, then comes default, and the fourth one is private. Correct? So this is the like sequence, right? So if it is has a protected thing, then this should be less than it. Okay, then it should be, if we have not written anything, that means it's default. Okay, then it is fine. It is working fine. Why? Because this third thing is what? Default we don't write anything, that comes the default thing. Okay. Now private. If this is private, then it is showing error. Private. Okay, then it is showing error. Why? Because here it is showing error. Okay, because if in private we cannot use the methods of other classes, so this is not at all possible. For private classes, overriding is not possible. Okay, for private methods, overriding is not possible. So it can be like a 3 only for us. Private is excluded. Okay, so accessibility can be less in the parent class. Okay, so this is like default and this is protected. Protected it more. If we write public, then also it will be fine. Okay, but if I write protected here, protected here and here, public, this is not gonna work. Okay, this will show you error. Am I clear? If I write protected here, then also it is fine. It will work. So child class accessibility should be more as compared to parent class method. Is that clear to everyone? Any doubt in this? So these are the access modifier. Okay. Now that covered that. This is, yeah, this is possible because it has a default. Okay, this is default. So we have covered this. Access modifier for overriding method can be allowed more but not less access than the overridden method. For example, a protected instant method in the super class can be made public but not private in the subclass. Due to doing so, we generate the compile time error. Okay, is that clear to everyone? So this is possible. Why? Because this has a more accessibility or more visibility, and then this. So this is possible. Okay, now
This,
yes. Any doubts in this?
it should not be possible because child has a less accessibility.
Yeah,
Private.
yeah, this is not possible. Sorry, good, good. Okay, so this will give you the compile time error. Okay, so this is not possible. You should have a, yeah, correct. So you should have a, child class should have a more accessibility. So this is not possible. So it will give you the, it will generate the compile time error. Correct? That means you are clear. You have catch the point, like child should have a more accessibility. So this is not possible. Okay, and it will give you the compile time. So everyone clear, I hope? Yes?
Yes.
Anyone has any doubt, they can ask me. Okay. At this point, like we are done with the, now overriding with the access modifier also we are done. So overriding is done, overriding with the return type is done, overriding with access modifier is done. Okay. Now we comes to the important points, like which method cannot be overridden. Okay. These are the important interviews question. Okay. So with non-access modifiers, see static, private, these are all non-access modifiers. Okay. Static we have learned in detail, right? Any doubt in static method? No, right? You know everything about the static. We have done everything about the static. So now which method cannot be overridden? Final method cannot be overridden. If we don't want a method to be overridden, we declare it as final. Okay, so we will see with practical what it is. Like suppose I have written here final. Okay, so that cannot be overridden, cannot override the final method. Okay, so if you don't want to overridden, or suppose there is some in your project, okay, suppose in your project there are some method which you don't want to share with anyone, okay, share with anyone, that is called as security, right? So you want to secure that method or something like that, that time you declare that method as a private, so or final, okay. So final method cannot be accessible by any other class, okay, it will give you the error. Okay, now comes the static method. Static method can also be not overridden. Method overriding versus method hiding. When you define a static method with the same signature as static method in the base class, it is known as method hiding. Okay, so static method also cannot do it. I change it to static, then also you cannot do it. Even though if I change it to static here, and then I can do. If I make this private, and this also, sorry, private, not final now. We have done final, and here also final. Then also it gives the error. Okay, it gives you the error, same error, cannot be overridden. But static, if I write here, and static, if I write here, then I can override static. So that time you can do it. Static is fine, but final is not fine. So if you have, again, static, we have seen that only static method can be called. Okay, the same thing is static method. If both are static, then only we can override it. Otherwise, we cannot. Okay. Then this is called a static hiding. Okay, so static hiding means only the static method can call the that can be overridden, not other methods. Okay, so this is called as static hiding. Now private methods cannot be overridden. Private methods cannot be overridden as they are bounded during the compile time. Therefore, we cannot even override private method in the subclass. Okay, so if I make this private, and here also private, okay, then there is no error, but we cannot access this method. Okay, so we cannot access this method. Why? Because private methods cannot be called by the object also. Okay, you cannot call these methods with the help of object. Test is not visible. Like here, show string method in the test is not visible. Okay, in the test class, show method is not at all visible. Why? Because it is private. So you cannot access this method in any other class also. Okay, so these are the important points. Okay. Similarly, there are some more non-access modifier that is called as synchronized. Synchronized is also non-access modifier, that also you cannot use it. The synchronized is using. There is also one thing which you have to know. Just know it is not very much in use.
When we use this synchronized,
These are all non-access modifier. I've told you like this. These are just, you have to know about these things. Like these are non-access modifiers. FTB synchronize is like similarly as static, but it is not that popular. Okay, You just need to know about this. Like these are all the non-access modifier. I've showed you right in the previous class. These are all the non-access modifier. Hmm, I think.
Yeah,
the-
there was a column
There was
like
a table, right? In
access
that.
modifier and non-access modifier.
हाँ, उसमें मैंने बताया था.
Yes.
So those are all, you should have a knowledge, of all those things. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so you should have knowledge of all those things that these are all non-access modifier in which comes synchronization. Abstract we will learn in detail, but synchronization, transient, volatile, uh, this strict FP, these are all the non-access modifier. Okay, they are not very much popular, these four, but you should know that at least the name of their, at least okay. We're coming back to um, going back to our topic. I hope these three points you are clear that we cannot override all these methods. Okay, coming next is abstraction. Okay, so till now what we were doing in inheritance, polymorphism, all we are doing was uh, how to share the data. Okay, in this polymorphism and inheritance. Okay, so in these oops concept, what we were doing that how we can share your data, how you can access other what you can say, other class object, other class method, how you can share it. Okay, so we were doing about the sharing, correct? So all these things were for the sharing. Now what we are doing, now we are in a we are done with the sharing part. Now what we are doing with the security part now. Okay, the abstraction and encapsulation is the two oops concept which tells you about the security. Okay. So abstraction is the hiding the internal implementation and highlight the setup services that we are offering. Okay, that means abstraction is what? Abstraction is just showing you what we are offering. Okay, we are not showing you that what we are doing internally. Okay, so that part we are not showing to other people. Like suppose in the real world example, what is abstraction? Abstraction is when you go to buy a car. Okay, so what you will do, you will just see the relevant part of the driver, like you see the steering, you see the gear, horn, accelerator, brake, and all the setups you see, but you will not see the internal engine functionality. Okay, you cannot see it. You can just have the knowledge of it, but you don't have the, you don't need to have the whole concept of that how it is working, right? You just see the steering, gear, horn. Okay, similarly in Java also what we do, we just show the relevant data to the user and we'll hide all the implementation details. Okay, so that is called as abstraction. Okay, so this is also very important interview question, that sometimes it is asked that what do you mean by abstraction? Okay, so what is abstraction? When you are hiding the data, hiding the internal implementation, and highlighting only the services that you are offering, that is called as abstraction. Okay, or you can also say that showing only the relevant data to the user and hiding the implementation and the details of the of our uh, program, or what you can say, hiding the implementation and details for the user. So that is called as abstraction. Okay, Now, how abstraction can be achieved? There are two ways, with the abstract class and by the inheritance. Okay, so there are two ways we can achieve the abstraction with the help of abstract class and by inheritance. We'll learn about this. Okay, so
Excuse me,
yes,
is that
yes,
inheritance no interface?
in interface. Sorry,
Uh,
I said inheritance. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Sorry.
We
It's
know that.
interface. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. I'm extremely sorry. So this is interface and abstract class. Okay, these are the two ways you can achieve the abstraction by abstract class and by interface. Okay, sorry, my bad. Good, you're listening carefully. That means okay. So now how to do the abstraction with the help of abstract class. Okay, first we will learn about the abstract class, then we will learn about the interface. Okay, I told you about this, right? Yeah. So with the abstract class, if you wanted to um, achieve abstraction by the abstract class, it can be 0 to 100% abstraction we can achieve, okay, with the help of abstract class. But by interface, you can do 100% abstraction. Okay, so this is also a very important interview question. Like with the help of abstract class, how much percentage of abstraction can you achieve? You can achieve either 0% abstraction or 50% or 60% or 70 or 80, 90 till 100. Okay, 100% abstraction can be possible, but by interface, there is only possibility of 100%. No, like 0%. Why? I will tell you. This just you have to remember, but I will tell you how it is possible. Okay. But first we will take one example. Suppose we have taken one example of car. Okay, so car is a class. It has 4 tires, that is variable. Like the number of tires is a variable, and then start is the method. Okay. Similarly, there is one more class, scooter, and there is a same variable and the method, and vehicle. Vehicle is what? Vehicle will be the your parent class. Okay, and it has a variable and a method. Okay, now we will implement this information into program. Okay, so abstraction with overriding. Okay, so vehicle is not having any information. Okay, vehicle is hiding all the information by not giving the values to it. They have the variable and method, but method is not giving you any information. It just give you an idea that there is one method which has a start functionality. Okay, this has a start functionality, and this variable as giving you the number of tires, like how many tires could a vehicle have, but it is not giving you the exact value of the variable, or it will not tell you the exact functionality of this method. Okay, that is hidden. Okay, so vehicle is what? Vehicle is hiding their information, and all these classes will tell you their information. Okay, so now what is abstraction? Here what we do is we make the vehicle as an abstract class. Why we are doing this? Because we don't want to tell all the information about our vehicle. Okay, we are hiding these information with the abstract method. Okay, we make this abstract class and we make all these things as an abstract method. Okay, in the In the next class, there is one car class. Here, what we are doing, we are inheriting the property of vehicle, and we are telling you the implementation of the method which is in the vehicle class. Okay, vehicle class, we have a start method. We are doing the implementation here. Here we are showing, but here we are hiding. Abstract means we are hiding the information, internal information, and here this is not abstract. So we are showing all the information, like car is a car has the start with the key or something like that. Okay. Similarly, scooter also we are inherit the property of vehicle, and we are telling about the method. Okay. In the main method, what we are doing, we cannot create the this thing is not possible. Why? Because we don't have any method to call. So we cannot create the object for the abstract class. Why? Because we cannot access these methods. Okay. These are all hidden and for private use. Okay. For the security use. So why we are using this abstract class or abstract method? To secure your data, that sometimes you have some functionality which you don't want to share with everyone. Okay, you can get that functionality by accessing it, or what you can say by you can take that functionality, or you can learn about that functionality, but you don't access that functionality. Okay, you can get the knowledge of it, but you cannot access the main thing which you wanted to, which you don't want to disturb. Okay, so that thing is for the abstract class. Okay, I will show you with practical example that how we can do it. Okay, I will create one package in which we are doing some abstract. Here, suppose I am creating one class with the name scooter, right? Because in the scooter we have written the main method. So scooter. Okay. So you have an abstract class. Okay. Abstract class vehicle. Okay. Vehicle. A should be small. Inside that you have a abstract method, which is a start. Okay. So this is a see, this is showing error. Why? Because abstract method cannot have a body. Okay, if I write like that in the like normal method, it is showing me the error. See, this is a showing error. What error it is showing? Abstract method do not specify a body. Okay, so you cannot have any body. Why? Because it's hiding your data, right? If you show it, then then it will not work. Okay, so similarly you have one more class which is car. Okay, which is extends vehicle. Okay, class car. Why it is showing error? Okay, let's just see. Okay. Okay, if you are extending the vehicle, then you should have all the methods inside a, if you are, extending the, what you say, abstract class, you should have all the abstract class inside our child class. Okay, I will show you that. I will tell you more about that. Okay, so void start. Now it will go. Error will go. Okay. Start. Start. Start with P. Okay, anything you can write. Okay. Then you have same thing for vehicle or scooter also, right? Here also you want to
Excuse me.
yes.
Excuse me. Is that the default method?
No. Default
That
is different. Default
yes,
is when you are not writing anything here.
yeah,
You are
no.
not writing.
Default method means inside the car, extend car, extend vehicle, void class car,
Can you come again? I
extends
didn't get you.
vehicle inside that
Mhm.
class. That is that not here, not there,
What you are
not there.
telling, I'm not getting. Can you come again? Upper, here, in which line you are telling? Can you tell me the line? This is are the numbers, no?
Line 8, line 8.
8. Okay. Line
Is that default class?
8. Yeah, this is default class. That you can that is default class, right? This is not public. You can make it public, but
It's a
currently
method, not a
default.
class.
If it is not written anything, that means it's a default class. Okay.
It's a method, I think.
Yeah, it's
I
class.
any other thing, like what is your question, Dunstan? I didn't get you. Can you come again?
That I got it.
You got it?
My yes,
Yeah.
because abstract that inside the parent class,
Mm-hmm.
that that method start from abstract void start.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Here method start default. That's why.
Yeah. So here it's an abstract class, and here it is a normal class, right? It's a normal thing. What we were doing before. Only change is this class. Okay, and this class has a one method which is abstract method. Okay, inside a class you can have abstract. Inside the abstract class you can have an abstract method. So if all these abstract methods uh, should be called by the child classes. Okay, I will tell you about this in detail. Okay, so this is a normal method. Okay, in which you can call all those when we are calling in the main method, no, we can create a object for it. Okay, we cannot create uh, vehicle. If we try to create object for this vehicle, we cannot create it. Why? Because I told you, no, abstract class cannot be vehicle. Abstract class object cannot be created. We cannot instantiate the type vehicle. Why? Because it is an abstract class. Okay, if I remove this abstract from here, okay, then this error is gone. But if I have not removed it, then it is an error that you cannot create the instance or object instance for this vehicle class. Okay, You can create the object for car. Car you can create. Car C equal to new car. Okay, so this you can create, and for scooter also you can create. Okay. So what we can do now, we can call the methods here. C dot show. Oh, sorry, start. C dot start and S dot. This is also example of method overriding also, right? So we are overriding the same method, because in scooter also you have this method, in car also you have the method, and in abstract class also you have the same method. Okay, so S dot start. Okay, so that means what will be the output? So this is calling these methods. Okay, till now we understood. You understood what we are doing?
Teacher,
Okay.
like the method inside the abstract class.
Mhm.
Like, is it necessary to be abstract method, or it can be a non-abstract method?
Yeah, correct. Now this is a good point. So here comes the another thing, like abstract class can have only the abstract method or can have the normal method also. Okay, good question. So you can have the normal method also in the, suppose we want to have one normal method display. Okay, so we can have that. We can have that. That's why abstract can have 0 to 100% abstraction. Abstract class we have written, right? We have this thing, right? So abstract class can have 0 to 100% abstraction. Why? Because it can have a non-abstract class also, non-abstract method also. Suppose you have this method. Okay, so you can have one more method. Suppose you have show method. Okay, so you can have multiple methods which are non-abstract. Okay, so only this method is important. Only this method is important to be written in the child class. Okay, only this method is important to written because it's an abstract method. If you don't write this method inside a child class, then it is an error. If you make this an abstract, if you make this an abstract, then it will give you error. Why? Because this, okay, if I make this also abstract, then it is giving me error. Why? Because the abstract method should be there in the child class. Okay, so you should have this method. You should have this method inside the
Because
child
it's
class.
not implemented, so we need to implement it
Yes,
inside class.
correct, correct. So this is not implemented and we have to implement it somewhere. So in all the child class, wherever you are extending vehicle, should have this method. Okay, so this is the second rule. Okay, I will tell you the 4 rules of the abstract abstract class. Okay, first rule is a method without a body. Okay, or no implementation is there. A method without a body or no implementation is known as abstract method. Okay, because the implementation is hidden. Okay, implementation is hidden and we don't create the body of this method. Okay, so this is the first rule. The method without a body is known as abstract method. Second rule is a method must always be declared in an abstract class. Okay, a method should have an abstract class should have an abstract method, at least one. Okay.
Teacher, so why you put there 0 to 100?
Yeah, it could be 0 also. Yeah.
So
mean,
if 0, they can be all normal method.
Yeah. You
They
can
don't
have
have-
no method also, right? But in general, I'm telling, yeah, you're right. So a method must always be declared in an abstract class. Okay, a method must always be declared in an abstract class, or we can say that if a class has an abstract method, it's a vice versa. If you have an abstract method, it should be have an abstract class. Okay, if it is not abstract class, it will give you error. So always abstract method should have an abstract class. You got my point? It should be other way around. I just missed my words. Okay. You got my point? Abstract method should always be in abstract class. Okay. If it is not in abstract class, it will give you error. Okay. So if you don't have abstract method in abstract class, then also it's fine. It will not give you any error, but it should be like an implementation. Okay, so that is how it is 0 to 100, correct? So this is an 0% abstraction. We don't have any abstract method inside the abstract class, so this is a 0% abstraction. Okay, so as soon as you make it an abstract method, it will increase the percentage accordingly. Okay. So the second point is what? If you have an abstract method, it should be inside the abstract class. Okay. So that is the second rule. Okay. Is that clear? The second thing, if you have the abstract method, it should be inside the abstract class. If it is inside the normal class, it will give you the error. Okay.
So teacher, like it's not vice versa, like an abstract class may or may not have an abstract method, but an abstract method should have an abstract class.
Right. Yes. You're clear now. Okay. So the abstract method should be in the abstract class, but abstract class can or cannot have the abstract method. Okay, that is why it is 0 to 100% abstraction. Okay, that is why I call it as 0 to 100% abstraction. Why? Because an abstract class can have an abstract method or cannot have an abstract method, but if there is an abstract method, it should be always be in the abstract class. Otherwise, it will not work. Okay, this is the second rule. Third rule is what? If a regular class extends an abstract class, then the class must have to implement all the abstract method of the abstract parent class. Okay, which we have just seen. Okay, or we have to declare all the abstract method. Okay, in that particular class. Okay, we have just seen, right? All the method, if it is abstract, it should be in the child class. Okay, this is the third point which we have to remember. Okay, is that clear? This third point, we just have seen that all the abstract method should be there in the child. Okay, if it is abstract method, it should be in all the child classes. Okay, otherwise it will give you error. If you make this this also abstract. Okay, then it will give you error. Why? Because a scooter must implement or inherit abstract method. Okay, show. So this show is not there, so it should have the show method also. Okay, clear?
Yes.
Is that clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. This is the third point. Now, fourth point is abstract class cannot be initiate. Okay, that also we have done, that we cannot instantiate, means we cannot create an object of the abstract class. Okay, we have seen that also, that we cannot create the object of the abstract class. If we create the object, then we can need to call a method. But if it is if there is no body in that, then there's of no use, right, to call that. So we cannot call those methods. So that's why that is all the importance of the abstract. Now what we do, clear? Now we will go to the interface. Okay, interface is very similar to abstract class, but having all the method of abstract type. Okay, here why interface is 100% abstraction? Because it can have only abstract method. All the method should be abstract. Okay, that's why interface is more of use than the abstract classes. Okay, interfaces are more popular. Why? Because it is fulfilling the abstraction 100%. So instead of using abstract class, we use interface because it gives you the perfect security, or you can say perfect abstraction, which we are needed for our project. Okay, so interface is the blueprint of the class. Why? Because it doesn't have any body, it just have a blueprint, like what all methods should be there. Okay, it gives you the information but not implementation. Okay, so that is why it is called as blueprint of class. Interface is used to achieve abstraction and suppose multiple. Yeah, this is a important thing. Like multiple inheritance is not possible in Java, right? Like more parent. Like a child cannot have a like one more than one parent. But in interface it is possible. How I will show you. Okay, and it is used like it can be used to achieve loose coupling. Loose coupling also I will tell you. Okay, now going further, like what is the syntax of the interface? Okay, so interface has the interface keyword. After that it has name. Okay, inside that we can have methods. Method can only be public abstract. Okay, there's no other way. If we have written method, that means it's a public abstract. Okay, compiler will automatically take this. Okay, so if there is any method and you have not written any access modifier, it will take by default as public abstract. Okay, if you have any field inside that, it will take public static final as default. Okay, for default method, you can have a default method. That means concrete method, like after 8th version default method is possible, but we will see that how it is. Okay, static method is also possible, and private method is also possible, but it will give you some because interface gives you the 100% abstraction, so we don't usually use it. But yeah, if for your knowledge it is possible, and we will show that. Okay, in practical we'll see that. Okay, so how interface work? Suppose we have written interface I1. Okay, this is the keyword and this is the name of the interface. Inside that we have written public static integer a equal to 10. If we don't write it, then also it will take it as public static. Okay. Abstract public void show. Okay. And there is one more interface which showing the void display. Then what we will do, we will create one test class in which we are implements I1 and I2. Okay, in interface, what we are doing, we don't extends. Okay, instead of extend, we do the, what we do implements. Okay, implements. Okay, so all these methods which are in the interface should be inside this test class. Okay, so this is the show method which is here in the I1. Okay, you are implementing both the interfaces I1 and I2. Okay, so we should have the all the abstract method. This is show method. Okay, and the display method also. Okay, this interface is also not possible. This we cannot do that. Okay, and then we can display. We'll just check it in the practical how we can do it. Okay, now suppose we are creating one class which is having name test. Okay, we'll just write the test. Okay, test interface. And we'll create, we'll include the main method here. Okay. Okay, so interface, I will create one interface here. Interface should have I let small. Interface. Okay, I1. There is one interface I1. Inside that we have a, suppose I will write void show, nothing else. Okay, I'm not writing any. Okay, if I try to create a normal method, it will give error. Okay, so abstract method do not specify the body. Okay, so there the body is not possible in the abstract method. Okay, only this one. Okay, and void, suppose I will create two methods. Okay, void display. Two methods I am creating, and then one more interface I will create. Suppose, or else currently we will do one only, and then in the test method what we do, implements I1. Okay, so why it is showing error? Because we have not written these methods inside it. Okay, okay, the type test interface must implement the inherent abstract methods. Okay, display and show. Okay, so this should have both the methods. So we will write it void show. I've written this, and then why it is showing error, I will tell you. Display is telling you to. Okay, so why this is showing error? Cannot reduce the visibility. See, yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you, that it has a public, what I told you, that it has a defaultly public abstract. Okay, this has a default public abstract. Then we have to make it public, because in the normal case, it will take default, it will not take public. Okay, but here it takes public abstract. Okay, compiler will automatically take public abstract. So if we don't write it here, it will take public, but if we don't write it here, it takes as default. Okay, so this is the difference. So that's why I purposely told you about this syntax of this. Why? Because interface is taking some other default things, and normal classes take some other default things. Okay, so this we have to purposely write public, then it will go, the error will go. Okay, because normally it takes as default, but then it will become a mismatch. I told you about the accessibility of the access modifier, right? So the parent should have a more access, the child should have a more accessibility or the visibility, right? So if it is less, it will give you the error. Okay, clear? Now what we do, we will write here, suppose we'll write here integer a. Okay, we'll write here integer a is integer a equal to 10. Okay, and in this we are writing, okay, first we will create the main method, then we will do it. Okay, inside the main method, what we will do, we will try to create the interface object. Okay, we'll just see that what will happen. Suppose I1 I equal to new. Okay, obviously it will give error, that cannot says the type I1. We cannot create the object for I1. Same thing for abstract class what we were getting. Now what we will do, we will create the interface. Okay, interface for this. We have create one object for this interface. Now t dot show. Okay. What this will show, whatever is there in the show method, right? But I think you got my point, right? One will come. Now what was the thing I wanted to do? Yeah, access modifier हो गया था. Sorry, I lost the flow. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you was talking about the integer a.
Yeah. Before that I wanted to tell you that if you write here default, okay, if you write here default, then also will give you the error. Okay, the method body instance. So default also you cannot use it, or not even the static. Okay, static also you cannot use it. Okay, so these things you cannot use it. Now coming to the integer part. So yeah, if you write here integer, that then, as I told you, it will be like a public static final. Okay, so I write here static, then it can be work. But if I wanted to call this integer somewhere else, that is not possible if it is not static. Wait, integer thing. Okay, that I wanted to tell you that by default variables are public static final. Okay, that I have already told you, right? Public static final. That only I will tell you that it is public static final. Yeah, that only I wanted to tell you, that public static final is the thing that they take by default. Like here they take public abstract, right? Here they take public abstract. Here they take public static final. Means what? This value cannot be changed. Okay. Yeah. In the whole program, in the whole thing, the value of integer, if you set it as 10, it will not be changed. It will always remain same. Okay. That is the use of this variable, that this cannot be changed, and that is why this is a security purpose. For security purpose, you are writing all these things, right? So that is why it will not be changed in any part of time. Okay. And this is as this default is as public abstract. So this is this by default take public abstract, and this by default take public static final. Okay, that's what I wanted to tell you. Now coming to the multiple inheritance, how we can achieve multiple inheritance. Okay. Here, right? Yeah, we are support, it can support multiple inheritance. How I will tell you. Suppose I've created one more interface. Interface I2. Okay. Inside that, suppose I've written this method. Okay. I've written this method. Okay. And then I'm implements the I1 and I2 both here. I'm implementing both the methods. Okay. And here it is not showing error because I've already written the display method. Okay. Display method is showing. Show method is also showing. Now what we have to do, by calling this, we can call the display method also, p.display. Okay. Now see, it is clear that we can call two methods, like two interface. Okay. That means what is happening? What is happening? It has two parents, right? It has two parents, and both the parents have their property. We can call this method also, right? I will delete it to minimize the confusion. Let it be. Okay. Are you getting my point? This is called as multiple inheritance. This is what it has in multiple inheritance. Okay, this is a multiple inheritance. Why? Because it is taking the show method also and display method also, and it is implementing both the methods and calling both the methods. Are you getting my point? So it is clear that interface can multiple inheritance can be achieved by the interface only. You cannot call two you cannot, it is not possible in interface. Sorry, it is not possible in inheritance. It is only possible only in interface. Okay, so here you have two parents of one child. Okay, is that clear to everyone what I am trying to say?
Yes.
Yes, it's clear.
So if someone asks you that is multiple inheritance possible, so you will say with the help of interface, multiple inheritance is possible only with the help of interface, because we can call two like two interfaces at the same class. Okay, this is a class and we are calling two interface, and then we are also taking the properties of it also, right? We can take the properties of it. Why? Because we are declaring their method inside our class also. Okay, so this is how it is possible, but we have to declare those methods in our class also. Okay, so that is the only thing. Okay, so this is all about the interface. Okay, loose coupling. What is loose coupling? Loose coupling is when those things are not tightly coupled. Like in interface, those things are very tightly coupled. Why? Because whenever you change something, whenever you change something in one method, it will implement in other method. That I have told you, right? They are tightly coupled. But in interface, why they are loosely coupled? Because the design and the goal, loose coupling is like wait a second. Okay. Okay, loose coupling is what? It will give you the flexibility, right? And it gives you the like when you see here, okay, you have that coupling, but it is loose. Why? Because every class have their own method. Okay, although you are using this method inside this method, okay, although you are using that, this is an abstract method. Okay, this is an abstract method and you are taking that method in the child class, but it have their own implementation, right? If you wanted to change something here, then you can change it, correct? So that is called as loose coupling. But in interface, what was happening is you are taking that method, you are not implementing your method inside your class. You are just taking that method and using that method in your class, right? So that is tightly coupled, and here it is loosely coupled. Why? Because you are taking that method, but that method is hidden and your implementation is done here in your class, right? So that is why it is coupled, but it is loosely coupled. Okay, so that is the concept of loose coupled. It can be used to achieve loose coupling. Okay, loose coupling is what? You can achieve your goal also, that you are taking some properties of it, but you are implementing your own things also. Okay, so you can take the property of show from here. Okay, show method, but you are also doing some changes in it. Okay, so that is what loose couple is. Okay, but in inheritance, what you are doing, you are just taking the whatever is there in the method, you are just calling it. right? You are not doing any implementation. So that is called as tightly coupled. And interface is what? It is loose coupled. Is that clear to everyone that how it is loose coupling? This is also very important interview question, okay? Clear to everyone? All these things
Yes.
of interface, everything is clear? Okay, moving ahead, we have encapsulation. Encapsulation is what? Encapsulation is what you, when you say in the real world example, the capsule, right, but which you eat as a medicine, what you eat is you just see the outside of the capsule. You don't know that what main medicine is there inside the capsule. So that is called as encapsulation. When you are binding everything in one packet or one thing, that is called as encapsulation. Similarly, car engine, all the parts of the car are binded into one unit. So that is called as encapsulation. Similarly, in Java also, we do the same mechanism by wrapping or binding all the data and variable and together and do the coding acting on those data in a single unit. So that is called as encapsulation, binding of the data. Okay. So in encapsulation, the variable of the class will be hidden from the other classes and can be accessed only through the method of the current class. Okay, so that is called as data hiding also. Okay, so um, data hiding is similar to the abstraction, but it has more of like an encapsulation concept. So encapsulation is that the variable, more focus on the variables. The variables of the class can be hidden from the other classes and can be accessed only through the method of the current class. Okay, so that is the concept of encapsulation. Okay. So encapsulation can be achieved by declaring the variable of a class as private. If you make it as private, you cannot be accessed by the other classes. Okay, so that is the idea of encapsulation. Provide public setter and getter method to modify and view the variables. Okay, so there are some methods of getter and setter. Okay, so suppose this is like a, I will tell you, then I will show practical. Suppose there is a private data which is called as employee ID. Okay, private data. This is hiding the data. Okay, this is also called as data hiding. What we are doing is we are hiding this data, and what we are doing, we are creating one method which is setter method. We are setting the, see, we have done this thing, right? We are passing one integer like a local integer, and these are instance variable, like local variable and instance variable. Okay, so we are assigning that to the, what you say, we are assigning the value to instance variable through the local variable, and then with the help of getter method, this is a new thing. What we can do is getter method always have a return type, and we are returning some value of what we are getting. Okay, and what we these are all private method. This is a private data. Private data can be modified and can be what you say, can be changed with the help of getter and setter method. Okay, so that concept is called as encapsulation. Okay, so what we do is we'll just write one method. Write one encapsulation program in the Eclipse. Encapsulation. Class will be, suppose we have a class name as employee. Okay, employee. We will add the main method also. Inside the class, we have one private data. Okay, private integer employee ID. Okay, so this is called as data hiding. Why? Because we make this as private. Okay, so this is called as data hiding. We have made this private. Okay. Now, how we can access this private data in other how we can access this data in our other class, right? Suppose we have a company class. Okay, so how we can access it? Okay, so what I will do is I will change this to, I will make one more class because I have named it as employee, no? Company classes company. Okay. Inside that I will write this data. Okay. Because I cannot change this main method because I've written class name as employee. Inside that there is main method. So I wanted to access this data. Okay, but I cannot access directly. Why? Because it's a private data. Okay, for that, to view the private data, we need some getter and setter method. Okay, so what we will do, we will make a public void set method. Okay, set employee ID. Okay, set employee ID. Okay, inside that there is one integer employee ID. Okay, either same name or different name. Anything? Excuse me. Anything you can write.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So employee underscore ID equal to, this is what? Setter method. This is setting the value, whichever value we provide it in the main method, from the main method, no? That you are setting this value. Okay. This is a setter method. Okay. And there's one more method we will write, which is public void getter method. Okay, so it should have an return type, as I told you. It should have an integer get employee ID. Okay, so what it will do, it will just return the employee ID. Okay, whatever employee ID it is getting from here, it will return that. Okay. Now in the main method, what we will do? In the main method, what we will do? We will just create a object first of this create an object. Suppose E equal to new E equal to new And then what we are doing, E dot employee IDs. Suppose I have written here also I have to write one employee ID, right? So what I will do, I will write E dot okay, I got confused. I have to write one company. I have to write company this. Okay, now I have created one object of company, right? So E dot get set method, set, okay, set method I will call, and inside that I will pass one value. Okay, and then I will call E dot get method. Okay, get employee ID. This is getter method. Yeah, so this is the getter method I have called, and I wanted to print this. So what I will do, I will write sys_o inside that. I will write this method and I will close it. Okay, I wanted to print this, whatever is there, whatever it is returning, I want to print it here. Okay, so this is a setter method. This is a what getter method. We are getting this private data from here, okay, and returning it here. I'll just make a what object of this class, and I am calling this method, okay, and using this private data for my changing it. I'm giving that value to that private data. Okay, so this is very important interview question, that how can you access those private data of another class. Okay, so the answer is by encapsulation, we can access that private data, and with the help of getter and setter and getter method. Okay, once we will execute it and see that what, see, we have changed the value of our private data with the help of this methods. Okay, is that clear to you? Private data is safe. We have not modified that private data, but with the help of these method, we just control that data and change it to whatever changes we have to do, we can do it. But we have not changed the original value of the private data. Okay, is that clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is the concept of encapsulation. Okay, here we are done with all the OOPS concept and Java. So from next class, we are starting the Selenium. Okay, so any doubt you guys have, then you can ask me in between also, after the class also, whenever you read, so that time you can ask. Okay, so this is all about the encapsulation, and just practice all those things. I've already shared this no, this PPT I have not shared, so I will share this PPT with you guys, and then you can just practice it. Okay, and if you have any doubt, you can ask me. I'll just stop recording.